Hey guys, Dr. Hassan here. I don't know who needs to hear this, but let's have a little talk about medical school, the journey to becoming a doctor, and is it worth it? Let's make sure this is adjusted. Alright, so this is one take, no edits, because when you speak to your physician, you're probably not going to have a chance to edit what you're saying. Today, I had a thought, got me thinking about it. Medical school, how hard is it to get into? And on top of that, what do we expect from our doctors? So, if you guys know, you probably looked into this. If you're curious, medical school is 4 years after college. Typically, you need a very good GPA. You also need some extracurriculars, some research, some motivation, dedication, some sort of way of showing that you're actually interested in medicine. You also need some sort of ability that separates you from the masses. Typical medical schools get thousands of applications for 100 spots from all over the country, the brightest kids from all over. They all sit down and take one test, depending on how you do on the MCATs, plus your GPA, the letters of rec, and your experiences/research, you get into medical school. So that's a pretty big hurdle itself. Not only do you have to go to college, you have to do well in college. Typically, to do well, you have to sacrifice a lot of social outgoings, those kind of things. Once you get into medical school itself is compared to trying to drink water out of a fire hydrant. So you have to learn an entire 3-5 textbooks worth of information about human anatomy, human biology, medications, surgeries, hospitals, different fields of medicine, and then you get tested on that. You take the USMLE or you take the COMLEX, and that's another point of stress, also a point of delineation. You have to do well in those situations in order to get to the next level, which is residency. Residency is your time you spend at a hospital learning on the job training, which for that you typically have another 2 to 4 giant textbooks specializing exactly in whatever field you choose, whether that's internal medicine, whether it's surgery, whether it's cardiology, psychiatry. Sorry, not cardiology, that's a specialty. Psychiatry, anesthesia, whatever it is, you do that residency. After or during the residency, you take boards again. In those boards, they're specific to your residency. So you take the MCATs, you take the USMLEs or COMLEX, then you take your board-specific exams, all on top of working 80 hours a week in residency at least, studying probably 80 hours a week in medical school, and then stressing out about life in general in college. So the point that I had, or the thought that I had when I was thinking of it, is the people that we entrust our healthcare to are the brightest, and they do kind of go through the gauntlet of testing, and they go through the gauntlet of life experiences, life stress, because there's nobody there to kind of guide you or hold your hand while you're going through this. Those are the same people that are responsible for our mental health, our physical health, our overall health. And most of the time, those individuals are not healthy themselves. What do I mean by that? Physically, they probably are healthy. Mentally, they're all stressed out beyond their imagination. I can count them. I can come up with 5 examples of when I've seen surgery residents actually cry while doing surgery. I've seen medical students, residents, interns get berated. I've seen residents and interns and fellows cause catastrophic errors and lose life. There's quite a lot of stress on becoming a doctor. It's not easy, and a lot of people don't make it. Well, they make it, but they don't make it in the same essence that they imagined what it would be like when they got into the process. The other kind of tough thing in this situation is you can't really change your mind. You can, but you'll be sacrificing years of your life. So if you start residency and you decide, hey, maybe medicine's not for me, there's not a lot of other options for you to do. So you have to kind of finish what you started, or you're losing 8, 10, 12 years of your life, because you forget a lot of the time people do post-bacs and they do master's programs just to get into medical school. So I know I'm a bit rambling here, but my thought that I had was the people that we entrust to take care of our mental health, our physical health, probably aren't that good at taking care of their own. It takes time, man. And then while you're in it, then you have kids when you get out of residency or in residency or fellowship, and then you have to raise kids while working, while learning an entire field, and mastering it, because your patients expect you to, hit the ground running. Nobody gives you time to train on the job kind of thing once you become an attending. Once you become an attending, you're on your own. I contrast that with friends and colleagues and cousins that I have in the tech field. Those institutions kind of cater to the worldly needs of their employees to make their lives easier. I'll give you a couple examples. There are certain big tech firms that will do your laundry for you, do your groceries for you, provide food for you, give you lavish entertainment and those kind of things on a normal course of the day. They also have a gym inside their facility. They have daycares inside of their mega complexes. And they try to eliminate all the hassles of life so you can focus on work. It's typical in a resident's life that they're going to spend 80 hours a week. And if you scroll on TikTok or you scroll on Instagram, you'll see that most people on their day off would rather just stay in, do laundry, and sleep, which by law they're required to have 1 day off every week. But there is this archaic view that, iron sharpens iron, and, you have to be put through these trials and tests just to prove your worth. And that's actually kind of, sad, because in today's day and age, we know that's not good for your mental health. And these are the folks that are responsible for taking care of you. And, I don't have a perfect solution for this, but I think taking the cues from our tech colleagues, who tend to make life easier outside of work, just so you can focus more on work. And you've seen the type of gains and the type of advances the tech companies have made. And, maybe it is because they had great founders, a great leadership, or they were started in the, recent century as opposed to 100 years ago. But I think there is something to be taken from their example. And I really feel like this is a conversation worth having, because now in 2023, mental health is a big deal, and being able to, process a lot of things is imperative. I mean, not everybody's able to go from, having a patient die in the operating room to going and taking care of a brand new patient. But, it's not easy, but not everybody's built for it. And my biggest point was, I kind of just want to create the conversation about this, because people really need to know that, things can change. Hour limits change, work restrictions changed. Maybe if we approach this problem differently, we would train doctors to be more empathetic and have more personal investment in there. So, I don't know. What do you think? Leave me a comment and let me know. Follow, do all that stuff, because I'm trying to grow this channel. Thanks.